Financial anxiety can be overcome. Band-aids like creating a budget and building an emergency fund will give you some relief. However, they won't actually solve your problem. And so the secret to getting rid of financial anxiety for good is probably something that you haven't thought of, but is a key factor in having a good relationship with money. And so in this video, I'm going to explore 3 key steps for you to take control of your financial anxiety, which will help you to plan for a secure and confident future. And if you stay till the end, I will reveal a bonus tip that when applied will take your relationship with money to the next level. Okay? So if you're new to me or to the channel, my name is Katrice, and I am the practical insurance agent, and I help professional and entrepreneurial women to protect and secure their finances using insurance, retirement, and estate planning. Okay? And so the first thing that you want to do if you are experiencing financial anxiety is to identify the source of your financial anxiety. Okay? Now, this matters because financial anxiety often stems from uncertainty. Okay? And we as humans, we don't like uncertainty, especially women. We hate uncertainty with a passion. Okay? And so identifying specific triggers will help you to address the root cause of your stress rather than to just place a band-aid on the symptoms. Okay? So the very first thing you want to do for this is to write down all of your financial worries. Okay? You write down how much debt you have. Write down your worries about your savings, your overspending, insecurity within your job, or insecurity within how much revenue you are bringing in within your business. Okay? And then you want to rank these concerns in order of urgency. Okay? Then you want to reflect on any emotional beliefs that you have tied to money, such as fear of scarcity or guilt about spending, or how you view your relationship within bringing in money. Okay? And then you want to read books about that can help you identify where you got these thoughts from in the first place. Okay? One of my favorite books that I read when I first started on my entrepreneurial journey was Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by Harv Eker. I absolutely love that book because it actually gives you steps. It gives you like little exercises to do as you're reading the book. So you'll read a specific chapter or part, and then he gives you an exercise to actually do that corresponds with that part of the book. It's a really, really good book. I read it I think I went through it in like 2 days, because I was just it was just so good, and the exercises really helped me to figure out where I got my thoughts with money and why I felt the way that I felt about money. Okay? And so what you want to do is you want to break your larger problems into smaller and actionable steps. Okay? So, for example, if debt is a concern, you might have a lot of debt, right? You might want to start researching consolidation options. You may want to speak with a credit counselor, or you may try to just figure out a way that how can you break your debt down into smaller, actionable ways. Like, say you have a lot of credit card debt. Okay, you may decide that, okay, I'm going to start working on paying this one credit card off first, and then I'll move to the next one. And so break it down into smaller things, like steps like that, instead of trying to pay all of the credit card debt off at once. Okay. All right. So if you think that would help you, if you like that tip, tell me, yes, that is me. I need to let me know in the comments if this is something that if this is resonating with you. Okay. All right. So the next thing is, once you have figured out, where your financial anxiety stems from, the next thing you want to do is to work on adopting a positive money mindset. Now, this is very, very important, because your relationship with money significantly affects how you feel about it, but it also affects how much money comes into your experience. So if your bank account is low, or if sales are low, or if it's hit and miss, it may not be because you aren't doing the work. You might be doing all the practical things to bring in money. However, if you feel like money is constantly slipping away from you, or you never have enough, then this is your relationship with money, and so you need to sit down and figure out how to get a more positive mindset when it comes to money. And so a positive mindset around money can reduce your stress and foster healthier financial habits. So the first thing you want to do is to practice gratitude for what you already have, even if it is small. When I first got divorced, this was the hardest thing for me, was to practice gratitude for what I already had, because I had nothing. Like, I literally lost everything. I lost everything. I had gone full-time in my business, but I wasn't seeing the revenue that I needed to see. And it made me, all I could focus on was just trying to survive. And so there would be times when I would be like, I'm grateful. I would say I'm grateful for having a place to stay, right? But then I would look around and I'm like, but I barely have any food, and I don't have any money, and it was such a hard time in my life. Now, this was like 4 years ago. But it was just such a hard time in my life that trying to be grateful was so hard. But what I realized was that being grateful for the small things is what really helped me to bring in more. And then you also want to use affirmations to help you to move your mindset in a more positive direction. So saying things like, I am capable of achieving financial security, or I am financially secure. One of my favorites is I am money. That's one of my favorite affirmations to say, is I am money. When you are in step one and you are figuring out where the source of your anxiety comes from, what you're also going to realize is that there's a lot of negative statements or negative beliefs that you will say about money. Write those down, because as you write those down, you will then be able to reframe your belief. This is where you're reframing your beliefs and your feelings about money. And so if you're always saying I am broke, reframe that and say I am rich. Now, you don't have to believe that you are rich. But when you're saying I am rich, it feels better than saying I am broke. Because the one thing you have to remember is that what you see in your external starts internally. And so if you are mentally saying you're broke, if you're mentally saying that it's hard to, bring in money, that is what you're going to be reflecting outwardly. And so you have to change your inward conversation in order to see it outwardly. Okay. And it's going to take time. It will take time. However, if you're tired of always being stressed out about money, then this is a key component. And no matter how long it takes, the more you do it, the more you get into that rhythm. Okay. Now you also want to reflect on past financial successes, however minor, and remind yourself of your ability to overcome challenges. This is also something that I had to focus on when I was going through my financial challenges when I first got divorced. Again, it was not easy. And none of this is going to be easy, okay? This is not easy. However, it is very necessary if you want to take yourself from being stressed out and not having the financial abundance that you would like. You have to do the hard but necessary things in order to get you to the reality that you want to have. Okay. Surround yourself with some financially supportive influences, such as friends who encourage responsible spending. If you have a friend that's really good with money, you can talk to them and see, what it is that they do, how they manage their money, adopt their, positive beliefs. Ask them about their money mindset and how their relationship with money, and kind of lean into them and their belief. Okay. Also, you can get on social media. Social media has so many people that are talking about financial things. Now, you want to vet these people because some people just are like rinse and repeat type of, they see somebody saying something and they go to say the same thing. They may not even done it. Now, you can follow this channel because on this channel, I've definitely been there and had the financial anxiety, and I have done the work to get myself out of financial anxiety. And that's all on this channel. We talk about insurance, retirement planning. We talk about how to protect and secure your finances. And the first thing you have to do, the first step you have to take in order to get yourself to a good place financially is to work on your mindset around money. Okay. You can definitely subscribe to this channel, especially if you are liking this content, if this video is resonating with you, if it is providing you some steps, some things that you can take, if it's giving you some insight on how to relieve your financial anxiety, definitely hit the like button. It lets YouTube know that my content is something that people want to see, and also subscribe so that you can get notifications when I upload new content. Okay. You can also, there's also another lady that I follow, Tiffany Alish. I think that's how you say her last name, but the Budgetista. I really like her when I first was really revamping myself financially. I started following her. She talks about budgeting, but she also does like savings challenges and different things. Like, she teaches you how to become really savvy. She has a lot of financial literacy. She teaches you how to become savvy with your money. So you can follow her. Her content is really, really good. All right. And so the third thing, the third key is to implement stress relief practices. Okay, if you have anxiety about your finances, this is stressful, very stressful, and stress will cause physical disease. Okay, it is a proven fact. There's so many studies done, and one of the things that it can cause, especially in black people, black women, is heart issues. Okay, it can cause heart disease, it can cause high blood pressure. High blood pressure can turn into other things when it comes to your heart, and so you definitely want to implement some stress relief practices. Okay, you see, financial anxiety, it's not just about money. Okay, it is also about your emotional and mental and physical well-being. Okay, and so you want to incorporate mindfulness techniques like meditation, journaling, or deep breathing to manage stress. Okay, just the other day I had something happen that was like, it just kind of hit me out of nowhere, right? Financially. And it kind of took me for a loop. And one of the things that I did was I had to do like deep breathing. And I did it for a good little minute. Okay, like maybe 20 minutes. Just breathing and just really getting myself back centered after this loop. Because the one thing that you're going to find is that even though you have a positive money, even though you're working on your money mindset, and once you get to a place where you do have a positive money mindset, financial crises can happen. Things can just happen out of the blue, and they can knock the wind out of you. Okay, doing this work doesn't mean that you will never have any issues, with money or any financial crisis, because that's just not true. Okay, because you will. However, when you know how to handle these crises in a holistic way, in a positive way, you won't be like all over the place. You will know how to nip it in the bud right then and there and get yourself back centered and get back in control. You don't let the situation control you. You control the situation. Okay, and so deep breath work is something that I stress this a lot, especially if your energy, if you are somebody, like if you have Virgo energy, Gemini energy, you are somebody who definitely needs to always practice mindfulness and breath work. Okay, because those signs are ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is the mind. Mercury energy in astrology, it represents the mind. And Virgo energy is very analytical. Gemini energy is an air sign, so it is all about the mind. And so the mind is constantly going, constantly thinking. Virgo is like the analyzer of the zodiac, and so it's constantly analyzing, right? And so you have to bring yourself back to center, and meditation and deep breathing can actually help you to do that. Okay, another thing, if you want to set boundaries around money discussions with friends or family if they add to your anxiety. Okay, and this is non-negotiable. You don't have to have conversations about money if it's going to bring you anxiety with other people. Okay, you don't have to have any type of conversations about anything that's going to bring you anxiety. Setting boundaries around what you will and won't talk about is key, because what I found is that even though some people are well-meaning, they sometimes will say things that are very insensitive, or they think they're helping you, but they're actually adding more stress to you. And so you don't have to discuss your finances with anyone. Your finances are your business and your business alone. And so you don't have to discuss these things with other people if you don't want to. And so, set those boundaries. If they want to ask you, well, what's going on with you? How much you making? Or, girl, you still struggling? Or, da-da-da-da-da-da. Nip that shit in the bud. You ain't got to talk to them about that. Okay, no, we're not going to talk about that. Let's change the conversation, right? Because, again, you want to relieve your stress, because stress does cause health issues, okay? And another thing that you can do is allow yourself a guilt-free spending category in your budget to enjoy life without overthinking it. Now, I'm not a big proponent of budgets, okay? I don't like budgets personally because they feel very restrictive to me, okay? I use a technique that I call money allotment, and I have 4 categories. And I break down the money. I break down, how I want to allot my money in categories. Obligations category, necessities, wants, and savings, okay? And so then I allot a certain percentage to each category, okay? Now that works for me. It feels more flexible. Budgets feel a lot more restrictive to me. Now you do whatever works for you, okay? However, you want to do something that feels good to you, but you don't want to be so restrictive in your saving that you don't allow yourself freedom to go and do little things to make you feel good. So if you get in a cup of coffee from Starbucks for I think a grande coffee at Starbucks is like $6.50 or something like that. $7. Just say $7, right? If that $7 helps you to feel good, it's a want, then go get your $7 coffee. I promise you, your budget's not going to fall apart, or you're not going to, die because you go and spend $7 on the coffee. You know your budget. And so if within, what you got going on, if you can go and get a set just once a week and that helps you, it feels good for you, then do that. Don't overthink it, right? A lot of the financial gurus, they say, the reason you're broke is because you're constantly going to Starbucks. No, it's not. No, it's not. Going to Starbucks to get a damn coffee is not why you're broke, okay? And when they tell you if you take all that money and you just put it in a savings, then you'll have da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay? You're being very restrictive. That's very restrictive. You don't want, when you have financial anxiety, you don't want to restrict yourself because you already feel restricted. And so then when you are doing things like restricting things that you enjoy, it makes the anxiety even more, okay? And if you're feeling it like right here, here in your chest, okay, it's going to cause heart issues, okay? And you don't want to do that. So go get the damn coffee. Maybe as you're working on this, as you're working on your money mindset, and you're opening yourself up to possibilities, okay, you can actually open yourself up to a possibility of how can I bring in more money, okay? Because as you're changing your mindset around money is easy to flow into my life, opportunities will come to you to where you can get, bring in more money, and then you'll be able to afford and enjoy your coffee anyway, right? And so don't do things just because somebody online is saying, stop drinking coffee or whatever the hell they be saying. Like, don't do things just because a guru is saying that is what you need to do. Evaluate your situation and yourself. If it feels good to you, then do it. If it doesn't, don't do it. It is simple as that. Okay. Now, you also want to seek support if your anxiety just feels too overwhelming. Okay. Go and talk to a therapist who specializes in financial stress, because that can be very, very beneficial for you. Now, you may not need to go and see them for months and months and months. You might only need to go and see them for a couple of times, a couple of sessions, and they may help you. Back when my mom died, she died in 2009. So back then, it was just really hard for me, dealing with her death, because it happened so quickly. Okay. She had liver cancer and she died. She was diagnosed. She was diagnosed in September of 2008. So like a couple of days after my birthday is when she was diagnosed. And then literally 5 months later, she was gone. And so that was just so hard for me to deal with. I was 26 at the time, and it was just so hard for me to deal with. And it was like, I just, I felt like I was on autopilot, right? And two of my friends from work, like, they're so amazing, and I love them. They pretty much was just like, come hell or high water, you're going to talk to somebody, because I was just in this depressive mode, right? And I didn't go to therapy for long. Now, it's not that I don't agree with therapy. I think therapy is great in its place, but I don't really think that you need to go to therapy for years and years and years. That's just my personal opinion. If it works for you, do what works for you, okay? But I did go for about a month. And within that month, the therapist that I saw, she really gave me some tips and tricks and things that I could use that really helped me to move out of that depressive state, okay? And so I didn't need to go and see her for a long time, because she helped me within the short amount of time that I went to go and see her, right? And so you may not need to see a therapist for long. But if you are in a state to where it's just overwhelming and you just can't get, no matter what you do, you just can't get out of it, and you try things and it's just not working, go and see a professional, get some help, and you will thank yourself. Your future self will definitely thank you for it, okay? All right, so those are the 3 tips. Let me know in the comments if you are going to implement, if you are going through financial anxiety. Let me know if you're going to implement these tips, and if this video helped you, okay? Now, I told you at the beginning that if you stay to the end, I have one last tip, one last thing to share. And so this one here is really going to elevate you when it comes to your finances, okay? And that is to educate yourself about financial planning and gaining financial literacy, okay? I work with a lot of women, and the one thing that I have saw is that so many women are really financially illiterate, okay? A lot of them, they allow their husbands to handle the finances, and while they have some knowledge of what's going on within the finances, their husband takes care of everything, okay? And for me, that's a no-go. Like, whatever knowledge he knows, I need to know and more, right? Because women we statistically, it's shown statistically, we will outlive men by 5 to 7 years, right? And so, if your husband dies and, you don't know what the hell is going on, you up the creek without a paddle. And so many women, I've seen countless stories of women who their husband handled everything financially, and when they passed, sometimes they didn't even know where the life insurance policies was. They didn't know who to contact. They had no clue. I've seen women lose their homes, and they have children, and they clearly have no idea what is going on financially. Okay, and you don't ever want to find yourself in that boat. Okay. Anxiety stems from the unknown. And we as women, the unknown is just a no-go, okay? And not just women, just humans, period. We don't like to know the unknown. We like certainty, okay? And anxiety stems from uncertainty. And so the more financial literacy knowledge you gain, this empowers you to make strong, informed decisions, okay? And so you want to start reading some beginner-friendly personal finance books. One that I really like is The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. I really do like his book. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Dave Ramsey, okay? However, his book, The Total Money Makeover, when I read it back when it's around 2019 or so, when I decided that I was going to get a divorce. I decided around 2019 that I was like done and I was going to get a divorce. I started reading his book, The Total Money Makeover, and it really started opening my eyes to my finances and investing and things of that nature. It's a really, really good book. And so, it's a book that I recommend that you start reading. You don't have to implement every single thing that he talks about. If you don't want, just pick and choose what works for you. But it's a broad view. Gives you a good perspective, okay, around money. Another book that you can look into is I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramsey. You can check that book out as well. Also, watch YouTube channels that are focused on financial education, such as this one, or join online forums where others share their experiences. And then you can attend free or low-cost workshops on budgeting, investing, retirement planning, things of that sort, okay? So that you can start learning about how money works, okay? And how you can use money have your money work for you versus you working for money, okay? Because the goal in life when it comes to your finances is to get to a point where your money is working for you. You are not working for money. You are just working just out of the love of what it is that you do, but you have your money working for you, okay? All right, and so that's what I have for you. And so if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. And I really do hope that this video provided valuable insights and tips and tools that can help you to overcome your financial anxiety. And so if you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments. Also subscribe so that you get notified when I release a new video, okay? Let me know in the comments your thoughts, okay? And now remember, nobody is coming to save you, and so you have to save yourself, okay? Until next time, have a good one.